if it's 10 degrees or 12 below zero and the ground is like cement, then what? You remember the old days, and I remember you were a kid, and as well as I, when Green Bay used to play in that, 10 below zero, and they couldn't even hold the ball. The ground was solid. Is that fun? I guess it is, but.
Well, you know what? The people say, well, well, obviously you're cold, but you get hung up in the game and you're sweating, so it's not really as bad for the players unless you're out sitting on the bench. And
I suppose.
But the frozen tundra can cause a lot of problems and a lot of injuries.
But the purists, quote, purists of football said football's to be played in any weather, cold, snow, ice, rain. So what's wrong with this? This is how football's supposed to be.
You know what? It is how it's supposed to be, but when you have a championship game on the line, that means it's for everything that these guys have worked for all year. I think you need to make the playing conditions as good as you can.
Don't you have to give the players the best opportunity to play as well as they can play the conditions?
Exactly.
And I don't know if that's going to happen.
You try to put them under ideal conditions so the talent really...
So that the talent can perform and you can see what these guys can do.
Exactly.
Well, that was a shocker to me. I'm surprised. But in any case. All right, let's
I don't know if it'd be interesting to see if they ever do it again.
Yeah. Well,
that would be...
well, that will depend probably on the weather. And if it's successful in terms of they can play well enough with the weather or not. I think we just wait and see on that one. All right, the NFL owners also want to change the sudden death rule in football. And let me read it. I'm going to quote it. If the team that loses the coin flip, this is now sudden death, a tie game, immediately gives up a field goal, that team gets a chance to score either a tie or a win. In other words, if a team scores first, that game's not over now. The other team's going to get a chance to come back and score, either tie the game or win the game. Do you have any thoughts on that? That's a change. The sudden death rule is going to change. You think it's good?
I like it.
You do?
I'll tell you why. If you have two teams that are battling for 4 quarters and they come out tied, then the guy goes out and he flips a coin. He loses the coin toss. They get a good kick, a good return, a couple of pass completions. They go and kick a 55, 60-yard field goal, game over. And to me, that's not. And I know, and that's what they get paid for, to kick the field goals. I understand that.
But the other team didn't get a shot even.
Exactly.
Right?
So this way here, if the team wants to go for the field goal, there's still a good possibility they could lose that game. Because you'll have the choice to go for the touchdown or go for the field goal.
The other team's going to get
the
ball
I like it. I like the
all
change.
right. Well, we'll see how the fans feel about it. I think the fans will like it as well.
I don't know if they've I'm sure they've taken a poll.
We'll see. I haven't taken
Maybe you could take a poll.
I haven't taken a poll either.
Maybe we should take a poll.
Out there, you call in if you like the sudden new change and sudden death. Call this channel, call the station here, and let them know. All right. The NFL was talking about this a lot. Is also threatening a lockout in 2011 when their labor pact expires. They have a labor pact, as you know. And the owners want the players to take an 18% cut in revenue sharing. The players share in the revenue. Well, the owners say it's too much. We want you to cut that by 18%. And you have any thoughts on that? So it's like the owners, more for us and less for you? Is that it? Or?
Well, see, I think there's a lot of issues about this. It's the collective bargaining agreements coming up.
Right, that's exactly what I'm referring to.
And they were talking about, what happens right now is the NFL distributes, I think it's somewhere around 60%. I'm not sure, maybe it's a little bit more than 60%, but 60% of their revenue goes to the Players Association.
It does.
Then the Players Association then distributes that money how they see fit. And when you were talking about earlier about the older players and retired players, about picking up additional money from the pension, the owners are saying it should come from that money. And the Players Association is saying, well, no, we need to kick in additional monies. But there's also rumor now that the NFL Players Association, I don't even know if I should be saying this, but I'm going to say it. We'll say it anyway.
Only say what you want to say.
I'll say what I know, what I hear. So there's rumor that they're talking about trying to increase the revenue from the owners to participate in kind of like the subsidiary businesses, like they talk about Patriot Place. Well, they're saying, well, Patriot Place wouldn't be Patriot Place without the Patriots. So that's part of revenue. And I don't think that's going to fly, and I'm not sure I agree with it. But that's kind of the numbers. So But the players, we talked about this before, they're making so much money now. And you know what, I don't begrudge them the money, they earn it, and they put their body on the line.
For sure.
But they're making so much money now that it's just mind-boggling. And the benefits they have for retirement is so different than when I played.
Yeah.
And the amount that they pay you for severance pay, they pay you so many years in the league as a package, full medical, full health, everything is covered.
Yeah.
And the money is just astronomical. So I personally, I'm afraid this thing may happen. I think if it does, I think both the players and the owners are making a grave mistake.
Really?
Because, it's greed, because they're making so much money, both of them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, billions of dollars.
Yeah, as opposed to 25 years ago when a lot of pro football players had to get another job after the season. They had to go out and work and make some money because they were being paid these salaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was the norm.
Yeah.
That wasn't the exception.
No, it was, from what I understand. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's another thing that's going to be in the news. All right, let's switch again.
Go.
Let's talk about quarterbacks, NFL quarterbacks. I want your opinion. Best quarterback in the NFL now, today. Is it Brady? Is it Peyton Manning? Do you have a thought on that? You don't have to give an opinion, Bobby.
No.
What do you think? You're an ex-pro player. You've seen quarterbacks your whole life.
Okay. When Brady was going through that stretch with the Super Bowls, I don't think I ever saw a quarterback play any better than he did. And I'm going, and I go back. Well, thank you for saying that. But I do go back a lot of years.
Well, I won't say how many, but a lot of years.
Yeah, and watching some pretty good quarterbacks. I mean, I've seen the Unitas and Namaths and
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, some pretty good quarterbacks.
Pretty good.
And I see Brady as certainly in Montana. Brady is certainly one of the top that I've ever seen. Is he better than Peyton Manning? If you base it on what they're supposed to do, the answer is obviously yes.
If you rank out of Super Bowl wins, is that it?
That's
is that a criteria?
Their job is to go into the season and get them to the big game
win
it. And that's what Brady has done better than anybody.
Yeah.
So, but I certainly don't knock.
Well, Manning's a hell of a quarterback.
I think Manning is a better field general than Brady is. I think Manning's the old type of quarterback. When the Unitas used to call his own plays, these quarterbacks they would take control of the game, and it wasn't the earphone. And now it's very seldom a few quarterbacks will buck what the call is and do an audible.
Right.
So I certainly, if I had a franchise, I'd be happy with either one of them. But
was Joe Montana as good as these guys?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? It's hard to say better.
I know.
You know why? Because the talent, you have to go by the time they're playing and the talent. At least Brady and Manning you can compare because they're playing at the same time.
Now, and to bring back Joe Montana from his day is maybe.
But look what Montana accomplished back then. I mean, it was phenomenal numbers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, anyway,
how about Bradshaw?
Another one.
How about Kelly?
Yeah,
Kelly from Buffalo. I mean, Kelly got him to 4 Super Bowls.
I know.
Because he didn't win.
I know. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but he got there. You're right. You're absolutely right.
So,
well, a good question. That you can argue that for the next 20 years. All right. Another thing: the Patriots in Atlanta preseason, are going to practice together
with the Saints.
With the Saints, yeah. They're going to Atlanta. They're going to practice together before their August 19th preseason game. But what do you think about that? Two pro teams practicing together for like a week. I don't know what that entails when you say practice.
Yeah,
together.
exactly. We when I was playing, we would scrimmage some teams and bring them into camp and have they run 10 or 15 plays, and so not a full game scrimmage, but a scrimmage.
But what's a week?
Huh? No, a week. I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't know either, but it's. I wonder if it's a good thing, a bad thing. I don't know.
I guess if they're at the same practice facility and they're not going to be in the field at the same time, I don't think. I don't.
I don't know.
I guess the question is, what's the point?
That's the question.
What do you accomplish?
I don't have the answer to that.
Okay.
Because that's why I'm asking
you.
Because I don't have the answer. I don't know. What do they accomplish? Maybe a change of face. You're banging against different guys after you've been in preseason.
Yeah, but they're trying to actually cut down on the banging, to preserve them for the. They're talking about limiting some preseason games because they don't want.
Yeah, well, they want to limit preseason, but add 2 more regular season.
They want the regular.
Yeah. So, what are we doing? That's revenue then, right? We're looking for money.
Bigger gates.
Yeah, bigger gates, more money. Let's switch. We don't have a lot of time left. Let's talk about Watertown High School for a minute, athletics. As you know, Bobby, you may not know, now we have boys and girls lacrosse teams. You know that.
I heard that.
In Watertown.
Yes.
They're playing at a JV level, and then next year I guess they're going to play at a varsity level. And they brought back girls softball, which they hadn't had for a couple of years. No kids. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that? Is it good? Are these sports now going to take away from other sports? Because we have such a small enrollment in Watertown. Will the lacrosse stuff do anything?
You know what? I don't think so. My feeling is that the high school sports obviously was very, very important to me. I mean, sure. that was what I enjoyed, and I think it's sports in general for everybody. And the more that you have, some kids may not be able to play baseball at level, so maybe they can play softball. Right. I think it's something to keep them. I don't have a problem with it.
Keep kids playing, whatever they play.
I think it's good for them. I think, especially now where they're talking about the kids are not in shape like they used to be, and you know, they don't go down the playground and stay all Saturday like we used to do.
Playgrounds are empty in the summer, Bobby.
So they need. You know, the problem is I think the athletes today have to be organized. Where back. Yeah. We were not. We would organize ourselves to do things. So
that I think you're absolutely.
But you know, playing girls lacrosse, they're playing together.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your feelings are. This is an issue because we've had many discussions about this, and I think it's pretty challenging. Because,
it is.
I mean, as far as I know, the athletes at the high school right now, the girls. Field hockey and they're are strong. They're very, very competitive.
And lacrosse, you bang around a little bit.
Oh,
too.
yeah. And I think they can handle it.
Yeah,
so,
they seem to be.
Yeah.
They seem to be, and the kids are out there. They seem to like it. I've driven by the East Junior High field, and that's where they're playing. Yeah. And I've stopped. I watched a little bit of it, and they seem to be doing well. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing I've ever seen is the female athlete in general. I mean, you watch them. Oh, I mean, you watch them perform. You know, they this is going to sound, but they don't run like a girl. I mean, they run. You know, we used to watch them when we were practicing. You could watch. They run, and they can play sports. They play basketball very well. They move. I mean, you watch the college.
I watch the girls' college basketball. They're great.
They're unbelievable.
They're great.
They're unbelievable.
I think a lot of girls are playing with guys too these days. You know, not in organized games, but in practices and stuff. They play with guys a lot too.
But they're just better athletes.
Yeah,
they're better athletes right now.
Better.
And that's great.
Yeah,
it's nice to see.
You're right. One more quick thing. We don't have a lot of time. I want to ask your opinion. Connecticut, Interscholastic, Connecticut High School football has new rules called score management. And here it is. If a team wins by more than 50 points,
more than 50.
More than 50. The winning coach is disqualified from coaching in the next game. What is that about? If you beat a team by 50 points, your coach can't coach the next game. Well, should you be beating high school teams intentionally by 50 points?
No.
I mean, but what are we trying to do?
But you know what? Is it obviously games? Well, when we were in high school, we beat Newton.
I know.
We gave Newton a pretty good.
I remember that.
Whacking 72-0.
I remember that.
And that game got out of hand where no matter who you put in, we were scoring.
Yep.
And so that can happen.
Yeah.
If a coach had his starters in the fourth quarter and was passing the ball and trying to move,
really pushing.
At that point, I would say absolutely let him have it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you can take a team and say them as a coach. You know, don't score. Play hard, but don't
it's
bring
like
it in
basketball. If you shoot the ball, you're coming out of the game. All right, Bobby, we're out of time.
Okay.
You know, folks, I want to give a quick shout out to the Watertown boys track team that finished third out of 35 teams in a Division IV track meet, and to the girls track team for finishing 13th out of 36 teams. So congratulations to those athletes and Coach Wittenhagen and Mastro. Nice job, folks.
Congratulations.
And Bobby, I want to thank you for coming to Watertown Sports Talk. Again, a superb guest, a great, and more importantly, a great guy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for watching.
Folks, thanks for watching Watertown Sports Talk. We'll see you next time.